Commercial real estate in India, Outlook 2013. We've already discussed retail space after the excitement of FDI being allowed in multi-brand retail, which is about 51%. We're now moving on to another space, office space in commercial real estate. What does that depend on? Practically on how the economy is faring and how the corporate sector is performing. No prizes then for guessing why this space has been very slow in most parts of India. In fact, this space depends heavily on some key industries, IT and ITES, banking, financial services, insurance, that's BFSI, and information technology. Manufacturing plays a role, but a much smaller one. We're joined by a new guest for this part of our discussion, Gaurav Gupta, promoter Omkar Realtors. Gaurav, thanks very much for joining in on this discussion. Tell me, are things looking any better or any hopeful 2013 office space, or you think it's going to be another dull year?
I think if we take Bombay into account, what has happened in Bombay is that the regulations have changed. You know, we've got new regulations coming in, and what the new regulations typically state is that, you know, that if you have to choose between building residential and commercial, in residential you're allowed to build 35% extra, and you have to pay a premium of roughly around 60% to the government. Compared to commercial, you're allowed to build 20% extra and you're supposed to pay 100% premium. So if you look at Bombay real estate perspective, you know, as a developer, if you have to choose between residential and commercial, it makes more sense to build residential properties. Plus, what has happened in Bombay also is that over the past 3 years, 4 years, a lot of commercial supply has already come up in Bombay, and absorption and is not completely absorbed. So what we think is 2013 from a commercial perspective, I don't think that many new projects are going to come up. I think the concentration is still going to be more on residential properties.
Bangalore, NCR and MMR. Gaurav, after hearing all the data, do you really think that you would at least get interested in looking at getting into commercial office space, maybe not in the central business district, but perhaps in the peripheral business district of MMR? Those have not done so badly as well.
I think if you look at the overall economic situation of the country, you know, as a developer, it all boils down to exactly what the status is with elections round the corner. So that is a call which a developer will take from time to time. And but if you go to see at the data, it rightly speaks about that the peripheral states have done much better than the CBD. And if you look at if you take the region of MMR, a lot of IT services have actually started migrating to the MMR region. You have your Malad belt, your Vasai belt, that is where most of the IT demand is actually going. So as a developer, depending upon what business plan do you follow, it's a call which needs to be taken.